my mom.
All right, and last but certainly not least, I think the person that was first brought up to me right when we were looking at this building, I can't remember who it was that told me, probably someone in the planning department or in the mayor's office, or Jeff Walker, was that you're looking at that building, you need to talk to Susie Sexton because she knows everything about the history and, you know, that her, she'll tell you the story, but I believe her father was the manager here for many years, and I should stop talking because I think she probably has a lot of great things to talk about in terms of the history. So, Susie?
Well, you're too cute to stop talking. I'm the oldest living Confederate war widow. Is that what Jeff Walker told you? I know things because I'm old. Oh boy, what's this, a microphone? Okay. It's so which one of you handsome men talked about a pajama factory? Oh, you, that handsome man. You knew I was talking about you. Well, my son, who's named after my dad, Roy, and my dad was, I was going to say mayor of Blue Bell. And Ryan, I'm getting mixed up with my dad. Manager for over 4 decades, and he was with this company for 44 years. But anyway, back to pajamas. I'm going to say some names that some of you know. Dr. John Lange.
You don't need this.
I don't need this. I'm loud. I'm not like the
son in
Buck.
question.
I'm loud. I'm like the dog. Anyway, back to pajamas. Everyone's listening. Roy was in a musical, Pajama Game. And Dr. John Lange, years ago, when that show came, premiered on Broadway, and then Doris Day was down at the Columbia Theater and John Ray, that Roy Duncan had to go see that because John Ray was Roy Duncan because my dad, there was no Doris Day, my mother was a Doris Day. It was a wonderful film about running a factory, but they happened to make pajamas, and Roy got to play that part eventually. But anyway, would you stand up?
I just did. I took the microphone away from
Oh, anyway, Roy went to Wabash College, and then he went to the Ohio State. Then he went to University of Michigan, and he got a business degree. He has a theater degree and a business degree. So he's an interesting person. He's had some interesting jobs.
And I make no money.
And he makes no money. But anyway, these guys are also such good speakers. Thank you for having me today. I just have a few words.
No, don't worry. It's good.
What this is, Terry Tatum asked me, and then I asked Roy, to put together some materials, and we did a few for him. And so we had a little teensy part in helping. And I'm so tickled because this is absolutely wonderful. And no, I'm not going to read this to you, and Roy helped me with my speech because he knows that I would talk a long, long time.
You're welcome.
They will be grateful to you forever.
No.
And all these badges, name tags, oh, it's so neat to look out and see all you people wearing these, you know. And so when I went to the beauty shop, which I do like twice a year, they said, you should tell that story you just told us. And I didn't make it up. My grandpa in Greensboro, North Carolina was a head designer, 2 of them, for Blue Bell when they started. Levi Strauss eventually became their competitor. We weren't supposed to say that name at our house. And they had their factory over fire department. And so when all these blue jeans were being made, the filaments and the fragments and the strings and powdered blue fell down on the bell of the fire department. And therefore, you have the name Blue Bell, I think. We're not in North Carolina, so nobody can question that. That's the headquarters. But the title of my speech, because I'm old school, I have a title. Wish I had a teleprompter. It's called, and you guys were just talking impromptu, and I have to read it. It's called Forward, use as you see fit. Love you. And that's because he's very bright. And I said, you gotta help me with this, because I want to say so much stuff. You know, everybody will leave and I'll be standing here. So he did. This is by Susie and Roy. And there's Don. He's not really related to us, but he's my husband. And he's related to you.
He's related, I hope so.
Or so I
Unless
told
I'm
you.
learning something new today I didn't know.
I'm here today to announce that. Okay, 85 years ago. Seriously. We're all that old, I guess. And that's how Lincoln started. So I'm going to start it that way. 85 years ago. Seems like only yesterday. And we are all still wearing our durable Wrangler jeans as we gather here today inside a handsome building constructed in 1932. And I've got my dates right, because at the beauty shop, they were really questioning me about this. Little Roy Sexton, who provided the perfect tribute to, or epitaph for my dad, his grandpa, in October 1983, co-created a short speech with me. I already said that, for the special day dedicated for the official opening of Blue Bell Lofts. And I hope I don't cry. He declared, Dadley, that's his adverbial nickname for my dad. He did not seem to be like the kind of person who would ever die. Well, he was correct. Because Mr. Bluebell, Joellen Adams, your aunt, Greg, called him Mr. Bluebell. She said, she didn't say this to me because she's deceased. I know she would. He seems present today in all of your faces, and the fact that you are wearing Bluebell badges, it's amazing. And this particular floor was the sewing floor. And if you saw Hidden Figures this year, which was up for Academy Award, you can almost see Kevin Costner up there checking everybody working on their computers to send somebody in outer space. And all these ladies go all the way back. So I know he's smiling broadly. As a young engineer from Greensboro, North Carolina, he arrived around 1938 and stayed on as manager from 1942 until 1974. An integral, longtime member of the Blue Bell family. Both my father and this very building itself, as well as former employees. Again, how many people are here who are former employees? Yeah, Ruby. That's Cheryl's Aunt Ruby. Cheryl's my dad's granddaughter. And my dad's grandson. Okay. Cheryl Schuman. And where am I? And anyway, this very building itself, and my dad, as all former employees and business associates and customers, and now new inhabitants, yes indeed, family. Roy Sexton emailed me the following talking points. He's always looking after my best interest. He knows that I'll be talking, so I'm getting on to page 2 already. I do take after my father. My father was very verbal and talked a lot. There goes your male stereotype. You know, people would kind of go, oh, it's Roy Duncan, I'll go down that sidewalk. My husband has always said, and he got me this t-shirt. I don't know if you can read it. He wants me to be a plant manager. He said he's always wished he could hide the household job jar and find me plants to manage, like cactus plants. Probably I thought violets, African violets, but at any rate. So the title, Forward as You See Fit, Potential Thoughts for your May 9th Remarks. Today is a special day for many reasons. The opening of this beautiful residential facility in this Blue Bell building signifies the ongoing growth of Columbia City, a reminder of her history as a manufacturing hub. Yeah, small Columbia City. And how powerful it is when different members of the community collaborate to make life as we know it better for everyone. For me, though, this day has special significance, as my father, don't cry, Roy Duncan ran the Blue Bell plant for decades, employing hundreds of our Columbia City friends, stitching up those beloved Wrangler jeans. He would be so pleased to see all of you cute kids in your denim today. My father, like anyone's father, loved his own family and appreciated the work that allowed him to provide for us. But anyone who knew my dad, how many of you maybe knew my dad? Good show, Ruby, done. Scott, it's little Scott Gates. Schooner, Sanson. I'll be danged, I didn't even see you there. Why don't you come up here and help me? My father, like anyone's father, loved his own family, appreciated the work that allowed him to provide for us. But anyone who knew him well also realized that he could be very passionate and very mischievous. And there were days at work where his playful streak was rewarded, and darker days where the deep feeling side might be tested. Regardless, he was always undeniably proud of the persons who stepped through these doors and of the garments they created and shipped to all corners of the globe. Here's the real kicker, though. He believed landmarks must be preserved. He gleefully remodeled and rehabilitated homes. In fact, I still question some of the choices he made in the early 60s when the Reefs came out to our house and remodeled it. They turned our Line Street bungalow, which had been built in 1935, into a 60s something kind of contraption looking thing, conglomeration of all bits and pieces that occasionally resembles to me to this day a very well-lit, postmodern, unidentified flying object. Up in the air, Junior Bird. Even after he retired, he would worry about how the factory's grounds were maintained. Is Denny Warnick here? Really? I have to talk to him. His grandpa did the gardens where the Vandalia railroad tracks were. My dad my dad could help you with the railroad because he finally got that property, I thought. Anyway, he built a garden there. And now it's parking lot. Neat. Even after he retired, he would worry about how the factory's grounds were maintained here at the Blue Bell plant, commiserating with Mr. Ermel Day regarding landscaping and snapping photos that he sent back to Wrangler headquarters. So he would be pleased as punch to see how this beloved, lengthy, streamlined building has been restored with absolute care. Thank you. Thank you, Commonwealth. And genuine compassion, obvious reverence for the past, and with such appreciation for the spirit and the joy of the people who worked here. I've been writing about Blue Bell since moving back here in 1986, thanks to your aunt. She had me start doing this, Greg Fahl. And later in my columns. As a kid, this facility was a magical place. Boy, I could show you where the fun portions of this building because I was all over the map of this. I knew where the ice cream and chewing gum and the baby Ruth candy bars could be found. There was a canteen. They'd taken a cloakroom and converted it into a canteen, which sounded like a Western movie or war movie. Lunches planned by Lucille Scott enticed all of us at noon and got served in a divine cafeteria. Dungarees were snapped up at cost in the company store. New parking lots materialized over there, over here, and over on that side of the building. And he had to work like heck to get that done. But the railroad tracks disappeared and ice park benches emerged. And huge bolts of fabrics were whisked from one end of the plant to the other. That was the shipping department, the second floor. I've always tried to capture the heart and soul of this place and for the productive, bustling activities on each of its floors. I'm to page 6. I'm almost done. The basement. That's where the denim, 5 layers of fabric were cut, patterns laid out, chalked, 5 layers of fabric. So I've covered all floors now. And I tried to cover anecdotes from the colorful personalities that walked its halls in my columns, while stressing the impact this dependable factory and important business conducted within its walls had upon countless numbers of us who once upon a time lived as well as presently live in this community. We put something about this on Facebook. You can't believe how they almost go viral, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
My father spent the bulk of his life working here. I have spent a great deal of my life recapturing what made the Blue Bell era so special for me. From birth to age 70, I'll be 71 this month. I've been with Blue Bell 71 years. I have worked through my 2 trunks, one of which was a gift from Mary Boyd with the words Globe Superior, because it's gone through name changes and mergers, stenciled on the top, of memorabilia. Nearly every time I pass by them lately during this thrilling time of repurposing, happy to add my 2 cents worth. And denim is and always has been my favorite fabric. And that pungent fragrance permeates the air here, no matter what they've done, no matter how much painting they've done, you can still smell it. And my house. A huge sign above the establishment's entrance read, and I think you said this, world's largest producer of, sometimes it said just work clothes, and then later they added, and play clothes. A lesser known slogan, but one quite familiar among Blue Bell personnel, always known as family, was the big company that pays attention to little things. And now I am beyond thrilled to see this generation and future generations literally spending their daily lives in the former Blue Bell building's sheltering embrace. Thank you to Commonwealth and Regina Gowen and our community leadership for not only preserving, but also creatively reinventing and reinvigorating Blue Bell for today and tomorrow. And thus, we return to the title for this speech. Forward, use as you see fit. And we can attest on this May 9th afternoon, mission accomplished.
Thank you, Susie. Yeah, I don't know how to follow that up, but I appreciate it. We really appreciate that. It's great that we have someone that can share so much light.
Someone that old is what you want.
No. Someone with so much energy. So, appreciate it. So, I guess with that, we have a number